It's the old Doctor Who show, episode number 144. Hey, that was my old Boy Scout troop, Troop 144. Have a weird story about that. Maybe I'll tell Dan during the podcast. This is the 10th planet.
Go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. You couldn't control my mind before, and you certainly can't control it now.
Would you like a jelly, Toby?
The TARDIS, when working properly, is capable of many amazing things.
Reverse the polarity of the neutron flows, and the TARDIS will be free of the force field.
Well, the TARDIS is more than a machine. It's like a person, you see.
Resulting reaction decided. Are you ready?
Welcome back to the old Doctor Who show, your tri-weekly classic Doctor Who review podcast. We are back now 3 weeks and 2 days from now. We last talked to you. I was a little Bella running through the meadow with my hand over the wheat fields. I ranted about that, right? How I'm tired of seeing the hand over the...
Yep. I love
Dan,
it. I think it's a trope that should be in every movie.
It is. Dan, I'm here. You're here.
We're
here.
Do you know why we're here, Eric? We're here because...
I'm getting a lot of background noise. Hold on.
There's a ton.
Hear all that background noise?
Oh, yeah. It's coming through beautiful.
I'm going to leave it all in because that's,
that's life.
That's how I make my films.
Do we want to start again?
No, I want to keep all of this.
Welcome back to the old Doctor Who show,
in.
your
we did that part.
Classic Doctor Who review podcast. I'm Dan, joined as ever by Eric. Hey,
yes.
Eric, how you doing?
Good, I'm okay. Good.
We just wanted to do a double.
I just went to Rutgers University for a
tour
for my daughter. She's one of many colleges, I guess, that we have to look at. Your old stomping ground.
It's true.
Dan used to hang around at the State Theater, right?
No, actually, I was a member of the Cabaret Theater, the not official off-campus theater company, not affiliated with the school at all, but we had much more fun than those jerks did.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
The Cabaret Theater.
Cabaret Theater, look it up. It's I think it's still there.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah. So how'd you enjoy?
Man, I don't.
Rutgers.
Oh, it was
a beautiful
fine.
Day for
it was fine. It was a lot of bus riding, and I had most of my friends growing up went to Rutgers, so I had spent a lot of time there. So,
are you talking about Rutgers, the state school, the state University of New Jersey? Is that what the state?
Yeah.
That's
what people want to listen to, right? They come here for the hot college talk.
Hot college talk. It's not that kind of.
Yeah,
hot
if you
talk.
Google that, I'm not responsible
don't Google
for
hot college
for whatever
talk.
hubs you end up on. Dan, yes.
No, but when I was going there, I like an idiot went out of state to go to the State University of New Jersey. When I was going there, there was talk that they were actually going to change the name of the university
to Dan's place
to New Jersey State University.
It's funny.
There was an uproar about it.
It's funny, like, Dan.
I will not go there.
Dan lived in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Right? For anyone updating his wiki page.
Yep.
And then went for his first college, went to New Jersey. I was from New Jersey. I went to Pennsylvania for my first college.
Where did you go?
And we may have passed each other like on the train, looking out the window.
Through the Lehigh Valley.
I went to, for only 1 year, I went to Westchester University in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And I
went
did terribly.
To summer band camp there,
okay.
Eric. So, Drum Major Academy.
It's quite
not even a joke. I wish it was a joke.
Welcome to summer band camp.
Oh my God! I'm just letting it all out. So the show's winding down, so I'm just gonna let you know all the stupid.
So we can talk all about Dan's erotic adventures at summer band camp.
It was decidedly unerotic.
Oh, we're terrific. Yeah, so
great.
We are winding down. This is the end of the road. You thought it was over. Actually, people were like, we came on here and we're like, show's over next week. And then all of a sudden we were like, wait a minute, there's this student film. Remember we did that one episode?
Oh, yes, we did.
Student production, which we enjoyed a lot. And then we were done. And then the banter, I was saying I can't find the 10th planet. It's not streaming on BritBox. We can't locate it. And then no sooner had we said that than everyone came out of the woodwork. We had longtime listeners that we've talked to, longtime listeners that we didn't know about, coming out, sending us emails, letting us know how we can get it. And we're doing this show in particular thanks to
Alex,
which we're going to leave your last name out to protect your identity because we had to watch it in a way that...
Well, no. This was totally
the only
fine.
way we could watch
We went
it.
over to Alex's house.
We did.
And watched it there.
He made popcorn.
We had some popcorn, and we braided each other's hair.
Yes.
And watched the there was no way any sort of quasi-legal streaming happened.
No, we tried.
watched
And
it together.
you could only buy like a DVD. Like there was no way. And we talked about it, right? People, if
there's
the
Daily
first time
Motion.
you're hearing it, you're saying it's on BritBox. It's not on BritBox
Not
in the
US.
US, but it is on BritBox in the UK or in
I will tell you,
any other
I
places.
even tried with a VPN service that works gangbusters for everything else, but it's not even that. It is a separate. It's like an entire separate site. Like it's not
Right.
.com.
Same
it's,
won't work.
It doesn't.
The
not
US
to say it doesn't
logins
work.
won't work. It's fine.
There's
The
no
problem
way.
was
No
solved
way.
thanks to our good friend, who we owe, or depending on how the review goes, maybe
We owe a
they
different
have
way
a,
of knuckle
we have a
sandwich.
blood debt now.
Oh,
Is that right? No, I think a blood debt is when. What is a blood
You have
debt?
to kill-
Do I have to kill someone
for them?
because they did something good for me, or did they hurt someone and now it's a blood debt that's got to get paid back and I got to kill someone close to them? We
Well,
don't know.
let's
If
save
you're an assassin or if you're involved in the dark arts of like, I'm thinking like a hitman John Wick scenario with gold coins and hotels. Let us know. I mean, what is... I'm sorry. I'm thinking now a blood debt is like if I were to have accidentally killed your right-hand man, now you would have to come and satisfy that blood debt by killing my right hand. We both have right-hand mans.
like-
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
have so
probably
many.
should have led with that.
Yeah.
Dan and I both have right-hand
Both have
mans. There was a sale...
My right-hand man is right.
Little lackeys, they're called, and they're actually they're
Tiny.
They're half people.
The half people.
Cat people.
They prefer to be called half people.
No, I'm sorry, cat people.
Oh, cat people.
Yes,
Half-
and if you're
they're
anything,
half cat,
yes.
half people.
And as I've talked to you
Half cat people.
before, I saw cat people
Sleepwalkers.
with my dad and his girlfriend, and it gets very racy. And I was about 8 years old. Very uncomfortable situation.
Which we've already talked about. This,
We've
but I
talked
was
about
still
it.
confused
Now we
with
know the show's
Sleepwalkers.
running out of steam. When
We're
I'm
just
I love to talk about that story though because it was traumatic.
Super uncomfortable, I bet, for everyone involved.
Yeah, because that's when you realize how they turn into cats, and you're like, oh, okay. Did you ever see it? We've explained
sexy?
this. I already
I think
explained
we
it,
have.
right?
I don't remember anymore.
They have a meeting in quotes, and if they have a meeting, then the person turns into a cat. But this guy loves to have a meeting so much with this person that he like ties her up. And then they have a meeting, and then there's a tied up cat in the bed. It's all fine. It's the moral of the story is do not hang out with my dad. But it's too late because he's gone. So we move on. We move on. No, we're here to talk about the 10th planet. We're not here to talk about cat people.
Although that might be our next podcast.
Yeah,
it's still up in the air. It's either Sid and Marty Krofft or we're going to talk about cat people for 144 episodes.
It would be great if we had
breakdown.
like some kind of like wheel of, and then we had to spin the wheel, and that's what we were going to talk about. And maybe it's cat people.
It's probably.
I
gonna be
would
cat
love
people.
to
The
do
wheel
a
is going to be 99% cat people,
Yeah.
and then 1% literally.
Here's
anything
my
else.
dream: you and I,
Uh-huh.
we talk,
Yep.
and there's no work involved.
Yeah.
There's no reviews.
Nope.
There's nothing worse than having to be like, I didn't like this.
No.
I liked it. Well, I didn't like it. Except for Sid and Marty Krofft. I feel like there's a model for that show that works.
Well, we'll find out.
I
won't
feel
we?
like that's a. Let's get to the 10th planet, Dan. I feel like
Okay,
we
why?
have something else to talk about. What else do we have to talk about?
Is there?
Is there anything else? Is that it?
What we haven't decided, quite frankly, is what we're doing next.
Oh
So,
yeah. So we right now, I guess we're saying we're going to review the movie unless we discover in quotes, another Doctor Who because
And there's an emails to be read at the end here. So maybe we'll see if there's something in there that tells us what we should be doing. Anyway,
well,
Eric,
I can tell you right now, Daniel.
anyone who's listening to this right now knows the rigmarole.
They know the back and forth.
They do.
They know what we're
The ups and
into.
downs,
the ups
the
and
travails.
downs. The Five Guys, burgers and fries. No, they know all of that stuff. No, but what I was going to say is I have that list.
You do have
If
it.
we wanted to review it, and maybe that will help the good folks who are listening now. Of course, I said that, and I'm looking at a list, and it literally just says the 10th planet, which I know it's more than the 10th planet.
Well, no. We have our friend Harry
It's
the
right here.
Hound
It's right
sent-
here.
sent-
It's a
sent us
10th planet
a
right here.
to-do
10th
list.
planet, moon base, faceless ones, ice warriors,
Yep.
fury from the deep, macra
Furry.
terror, underwater menace.
Mascara.
Did I say that one already?
Maybe.
Okay. Now we've already done 10th planet.
The reason I want to do Underwater Menace is just to hear you say Underwater Menace.
Underwater?
over and over. I just want to hear
It's
you say
the
water.
underwater menace. Okay.
Underwater.
Any of those things are not available on US BritBox. Not available
Maybe.
digitally, I don't think.
Okay, here's a possibility. In the next 3 weeks, if we can start a GoFundMe,
Yeah, just
Eric and I
send
will
us
move
them.
to England so
Okay.
that we can sign up for BritBox in England, legitimately, and we'll watch it there.
How
So-
great would it be if people just flew us to their house in England
Yeah,
for the weekend?
sure.
Obviously, they have to pay for airfare.
Everything.
We'll sleep on your couch as long as it's a pull out.
no, I mean-
it's got to be a pull out.
I would rather a hotel.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
fine,
say.
fine. Yes,
I mean,
hotel.
four stars is the
so-
minimum.
Yes.
Five
so
is really what I'm looking for.
airfare, pick us up when we get there.
Or
Hotel.
have a car sent. That's fine.
Then we'll hang out with you, and we'll watch.
for a limited amount of time.
We'll
for a
watch
very
the
short
Ice
period.
Warriors at your
Just to watch
house
Yes.
for free.
There will be no talking though. No talking.
We can
we will
no
not speak.
eye contact.
No.
Except for Dan and I, who never break eye contact.
We never break eye contact. You should see us record this podcast for 144 episodes. It is an hour solid of us maintaining uncomfortable eye contact.
I love it.
It is.
Think about it. That
unnerving
could be
and
your future.
invigorating.
That could be.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Ice Warriors, like all the other ones that we said on that list, only
Yes.
seem to exist either as a DVD for
So
like
if you wanna buy us
$25 or
DVDs.
more. Like they didn't digitize. For some reason, you can't go to Amazon or you can't go to Apple and buy it. It's not like you could buy it
Which
for
I
$3.
would.
Not available. So if
So
you
angry.
contact us within the next 3 weeks and you say, Psst, we have a copy of the thing, and then links are exchanged. Are we allowed to say this publicly? We're probably not allowed to say this publicly. But if that were to happen, then we'll let you know that.
You'd follow us down.
Yeah,
you'd
it's
lead us down
almost
a
like
dark alley.
you know what it is. It's
Look-
like Dan and I are in electric chairs,
Yes.
and they're
It's
about
just
to hit
like-
the switch, and you can be the governor, right?
love
You're
where
the
this is
you're
going.
the. We're waiting for that call. If the call comes in, the execution has been
The
stayed.
warden's like, hold on.
Yeah, hold on. We have a Dropbox link. Whatever. I'm not saying where you would put it.
Yeah, but that's,
And then-
classically, like in the Green Mile, when they're like, "Hang on, I have a Dropbox
I've never seen
link.
the Green Mile.
I'm sure Shawshank.
Okay,
They
I
also
have
do
seen
the Dropbox
Shawshank.
link there.
Now, are
Yep.
they both Stephen King? Obviously, I know Shawshank is,
Yes.
but is the Green Mile as well?
It is. It is.
Okay,
indeed.
there you go. That's something. I don't know what the point of that is, but
It's a good
it's somehow related to prisons. Yes. So then we would continue, and then you can
Remember
get
the
us out of
HBO
this.
series
and
Oz?
I've seen
was
Oz.
just
I've
all
seen
about
all
Dropbox
of
links.
Oz.
The entire. It was nothing
That's
but
yeah.
the warden coming in.
That's what Schillinger. That's how he got in there. Was Dropbox.
Sharing.
He was Dropboxing white national Nazi links.
Yeah.
Do you remember Schillinger? And he is the guy that's literally in everything, and I can't think of his name, and he's a great character actor of our times.
Everyone at home is nodding along to what you're saying right now. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right? J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons.
J.K.
Yes.
Simmons. Yes, he's the best.
He is great in that, although I'm not a big fan of Nazis, but as far as Nazis go, he is
Not
aces.
a big fan. I mean, kind of on the ambivalent, really, at best.
Anyway.
That's the old Dr. Ho show promise to you.
That's our promise. Listen, and here's what's also fun. The old Doctor Who show starts out 2015. We watch the rise of Donald Trump into presidency. And now we're winding down on an indictment. So it's like we got the full ride. And then at the very end, I guess Civil War. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Civil War.
I'm not sure what happens after that. So get us those links. If we don't get the links, it sounds like a threat. If we don't get the links, we're recording the review next time of the movie with Peter Cushing.
Oh,
and then once that's done, we're not really gonna go anywhere. We'll change form, and something else will pop out the other side. We just don't know quite what it is, but you won't. What? We won't be gone.
dig yourself out of this one. I don't know.
We'll be with you forever.
I'll be
right here. That was my favorite part of the movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Wait, no, that's not right.
Yes, when he gets to the alien and then the
Richard
Dreyfuss is there,
yep.
And then Quint is sitting there in the back, and he's like, "It's got doll's eyes," and then the doll says, "I'll be right here," and he points right at him, and that's the man the shark eats. Is that right? Can we go? Can we just 10th Planet
familiar, at least.
It sounds a lot like a dream I had. We have to go. I'm very tired. All right, hit the button. Whoop.
Okay.
Signal, sir, from Lieutenant Cutler, sir.
I'm tumbling bad and there's little control left of the capsule. I must speak fast.
Yes, go ahead, son.
This new planet, there's something strange happening.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems to brighten up like a sun and then darken again.
We cannot absorb much more energy. Sir, Cyberman spaceship's on approach path.
Shut up, will you? Go ahead, son.
Hey, control's gone again. Energy loss severe. It's like being on a switchback. I can't seem to...
Get that signal back.
This is the 10th Planet, Dan. This is a 4-part serial from 1966. Did you know that, Dan? Did you know that? It was from 1966.
Yeah.
It's from season 4, lucky number 4. The Doctor and 2 strangers, who I should probably know by now. Well, honestly, I know Polly. I remember Polly, but Ben...
He kind of remembers Ben.
I don't know if I remember
You remember Ben
Ben
as an animated character.
I'm sure I've seen Ben animated.
Okay,
and I'm sure the last time I saw Ben, I said, I don't remember Ben. The Doctor and Ben and Polly, they end up in 1986. And they land in Antarctica just in time for a Cyberman invasion. 1986 here was exactly as I remembered it, and I think that's kind of freaky. It's like, you know how they say, like, oh, The Simpsons predicted the future? So did Doctor Who in 1986. We all acted like that. Also, the Doctor dies in this, spoiler, and they're Cybermen, right? Once again, written by Kit Pedler. I'm very sorry life gave you that name. And Jerry Davis, which is actually Gina Davis's uncle, which a lot of people didn't. It's not true. This is directed by Derek Martinez, or Martinez. And it was a story that I watched. Dan, what did you think? You know what?
So,
it's kind of strange. Like, it's the last Hartnell story, but it's only 3 seasons, and yet it feels like Hartnell was the Doctor for 500 years. And we could still do 18 more Hartnell stories if we wanted to.
How did they do that?
Don't know how they fit them all in. And we're watching multiple parts. It's not like it's like one episode per story. Each story is 16 parts. It doesn't make sense. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense.
It's time travel is what they did. I don't know how this works.
The Thesans are bigger on the inside.
Oh,
the Thesans inside.
So we've seen Ben.
We've seen Ben.
The War Machines we reviewed. That was Ben and Polly.
So he's like a Troughton guy.
But no, that's not a Troughton story. Isn't
the War Machine Troughton
joint?
Is it? I thought the War Machine was Troughton.
No, that's the first one we see him.
Okay.
Is that one? And then he's in the Smugglers, which I don't think we did. Then the 10th Planet, which is what we're about to do just now.
Yep,
And
it's
then
happening.
we see him in Power of the Daleks, the animated reconstruction that we watched. So we've seen both Ben and Polly. They're not strangers. They're just strangers.
I remember.
apart.
I clearly remember Polly, especially because you mentioned
I
Power of the
clearly remember-
Daleks, which is a Troughton story, and Polly being in that, and then we had seen her after that. So yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah, it's all awesome.
It's all good.
So what did I think of this one?
What did you think of this one?
What did I think of this one? Well, let's say people on our friends on Twitter had certain opinions about it.
Okay.
And I didn't share those
Oh
opinions
my
so much.
God! Really?
It was.
Well, what was your
okay,
opinion?
Okay. The good.
Dan
Let's
is
say
about to drop a Z-bomb.
Here it comes. Overall, I think they did a lot of interesting things.
You got
It
Dan
is-
Johnsoned.
Is that what we're calling it? Okay. So
No, I wish there was
think-
something better than you got Dan Johnsoned.
I don't think there's anything.
Because
better
if you
than
say
that.
you got Johnsoned, again, it could be misinterpreted.
No, I think it's accurate. Yeah, this one
That-
was a slow ass story.
Yeah, very slow.
Thank God it was 4 parts.
It was very slow
That
because of the
said-
voice acting, too, on the part of the Cybermen.
Oh,
Could have been
my-
sped up a little bit.
Well, you can do that. You can speed it up, and it does make it a lot easier to watch. Yes. So this was a really drawn out story with a lot of the same stuff happening in the same location
Yes.
over and over again. So that kept it visually kind of static. But I will say, the production design for the exterior shots was terrific. The actual stage with the actors, everything was going on there. That was really well done. I think the model work was really, really good, especially for the era. I think that looked fantastic. I like Ben and Polly. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on there.
There's
but
not
overall. I
There's
like
not
them.
a ton of.
Polly is pretty much just damsel in distress mode.
Well, she also offers to make tea at some point or
coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yes.
Coffee of all things. Which I mean, I guess, which is fine. Hartnell has to have a lay down in the middle of it, which was
Hartnell
weird.
disappears for the third, and it's so strange too that like this is his final countdown, his final hurrah, his final dance in the Doctor Who shoes, the Doctor shoes, which
Doctor
are
Who
Kinney's,
shoes.
by the way. But yet for the entire third episode, he's not in it.
Right.
And, like, we're so used to now, like, oh, it's the final episode. It's going to be very featured on them. They're going to get all of their moments. And he's still, like, a bit player
Yeah.
in his own send-off. I mean,
Yeah.
it picks up a little bit in episode 4, which we'll get to, obviously.
Yeah. So
But, yeah, go on.
the other things I like, I mean, obviously this is in air quotes, an important episode. It is the first regeneration. We see the Cybermen for the first time. We hear about Mundus, which is fun because I can only think of the disco dudes
Yep.
that come later. So that's cool. So it's got some important things happening. But overall, man, it was a bit of a slog. I'm sorry to say. And I know, I'm sorry, folks. People have
You
different
are making
opinions than
people
me,
mad.
but I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. It was definitely like a mid episode. It was fine. I do think that the reconstruction, the 4th episode animation, I liked it. We've seen that animation style before, but I think it worked really well, especially because it wasn't an entire reconstruction. We had 3 episodes of the original.
Right, and then you just get the...
And then it flips over to... I liked the art style because it felt appropriate to what they were... Like, it worked. It just worked really well. But yeah, overall, it was just an okay episode. And to be honest, maybe this is controversial. I don't think the regeneration really felt earned in any way. It's just like, wow, he's just really tired, I guess.
Yeah, and he loses his sense of humor as well. And that's
Yeah,
the
he
first,
did lose
that's
his
the
sen-
first
yeah,
sign
that's
that
the first
something
thing to
bad's
go.
happening. No,
So it was strange. Eric, tell me differently. Tell me how much.
All right,
you
I'm going to
freaking
tell you
love this
that
one.
I also did not like this.
Oh no!
I did not like it. I shouldn't say that. I found it to be boring. Is that the word I'm looking for? A little bit.
Uninteresting.
I felt
kind
like
of
it
just
again.
static.
Classic TODWS feedbacks coming. Get your bingo cards. It was still too
Uh-oh.
long at 4 parts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
This was definitely
It's
a
hard to
half-parter.
yes. I felt like the general character, the classic villain, bomb them all and let God sort him out with his
Very
Z-bomb.
Doctor Strangelove, no?
Was very like okay, we get it. But then they had like the J. Jonah Jameson, whose son was an astronaut, who was turned into a werewolf, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Are you all right, son? You're white as a sheet and you're trembling.
I'm sorry, Dad. Got a touch of the flu.
The flu? You better take care of yourself, John.
Like I said, Dad. Sorry. I've been under a strain. I'd better get home.
Later the same evening, in a brownstone overlooking the Hudson River, a door opens, releasing a sliver of yellow light and the stumbling form of a young man.
Nothing I can do. It's happening again. I'm changing.
And in several seconds, we see before us a man-wolf.
Reminded me a little bit of this with his son in the ship, and he'd never turned into a werewolf, and perhaps had he turned into a werewolf, I would have liked it a little bit more. But he was very, like, typical military villain, very one-dimensional character. And he was very over the top every time that he delivered a line. And I felt like a lot of the other characters, with the exception of the quote-unquote good scientist, were very uninteresting. Like, I didn't find any of the characters very interesting or engaging in any way. I felt like Polly's okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I have much connection to either of these companions. And that's probably because we have not really spent a lot of time with them, so it's not fair.
But we can go back and do all their episodes. All of their Hartnell episodes would be great.
But there's some Hartnell ones where I'm like right on board, and I feel like it's like a hit, and I feel like Hartnell's great in it, and it works. And this one, I felt like I knew he was regenerating. So like when it got to the third episode, and all of a sudden he's just gone because he's taking a nap or whatever, I forget.
He just felt tired. That's what happened.
I felt bad for him. I was like, oh, they're like, it feels like they're 100% writing this guy out, and like, is he into getting replaced? Like, I was doing all that stuff.
Was there maybe a motivation there to give the companions more to do? Take the Doctor out of the equation. Give the companions more to do because it's going to be a regeneration, and they're not sure how it's going to go to have a new actor to come in. So maybe make Ben and Polly more central to help bridge that gap into the next story. Maybe that was part of the planning. I just don't know what the rationale was to not have the main character in an entire episode of the story.
Yeah.
Other than maybe just to, like I said, give them more to do. Let the audience feel like maybe they're still in good hands as they switch over to the new actor. I don't know.
I wish there was more settings than we had. I guess you have you'd have a lot of phone calls where you're like, we're calling wherever, and then someone answers the phone in another room, and you get like a sense that is like a world.
Yes.
On the brink, and like sort of like all of the stuff that goes into that, coming off of World War II and the Cold War and nuclear weapons and all of that sort of world panic was interesting.
Yeah.
But I just didn't feel like it was enough. And I also this is blasphemous, but I found the Cybermen to be like, I didn't want them to even be on screen. I don't mind like that model, but like the way that they delivered all their lines and like waiting for the talking to be done, I didn't love them.
Yeah, no,
sometimes I love the Cybermen, so it's not that I don't. I understand this is old, because this is literally the first time, right? We're seeing them, but it's like they didn't like that. I'm looking at my watch, like it was like get the line out, fella.
Yeah,
I'm not loving the voice.
It was interesting that they were doing. I mean, I guess they were just. This is another robotic race besides the Daleks. They had to do something different with the voice, but to make it so sing-songy and so long to say all their words, it just took. Cool. It was not fun.
And I didn't feel like they were that menacing.
But the creature design, whatever, the costuming was fun.
Yeah,
I liked seeing that design.
And the outfits of the astronauts. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's from Star Wars, right? Was that the Rebel outfit, or was that what Bosk wore? Like those outfits, like the initial outfits of the astronauts. J. Jonah Jameson's son, who becomes the what did I say? It's Man-Wolf.
Man-Wolf.
That's this. I'll have to look it up, but that must be what they used for, like, the Rebels, or for
like literally reused it.
Oh yeah. Did you recognize? Like, we'll find the photo. I'll do it right now while I'm talking to you.
Do that. Yeah, you go ahead and do that.
Oh, you know what?
I'll just do the show instead.
It'll be on like Wiki, TARDIS Wiki or something where they somehow do. Maybe I'm wrong, but I recognize that it was like, oh, they must have used that in Star Wars.
But I mean, maybe the inspiration's there. But so the Cybermen were not like the scariest kind of incarnation we've seen of them, obviously, but the first one. So maybe trying to put myself in that kind of time period and seeing them, the fact that they have these giant weapons strapped to their chests that can just destroy people. They can.
I was correct.
On them and
I was
knock
correct.
Them out.
Boss.
No kidding.
Sorry, I'm
Boss.
yelling at myself.
That would be the lizardy faced guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bounty hunter. Yeah. So that's cool. Did they, when the Cybermen initially came on the screen and they were talking, and they would do like a close up of one of the Cybermen talking? Did he just open his mouth wide while he was speaking and not move his mouth? But then later on, in later episodes, like he actually did mouth the words at the same time. But like it seemed like at first they would just hold their mouth open while they're speaking. It seemed weird. That's just me.
It's just you. No, I didn't pick up on it, but
that.
Yes,
it definitely felt that way.
Felt that way.
Yeah. I mean, what's there to say? So episode.
Well,
1,
I could talk more about Bosk because I remember having that figure. He was so cool. Like, how great was that moment being a little kid?
Hey guys,
and you get to the scene where they get all the bounty hunters and they're all standing there and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the coolest thing."
I had a Hammerhead action figure as well, and when you see him on the screen, you're like, "I got that guy." It's so great.
That was definitely my favorite.
So this was kind of cool because they had the title cards in between each one had like the computery sort of thing going on there, which was kind of fun. That's a different thing than they'd done before. That was kind of neat. You have them in Antarctica. It's this international, multicultural.
Yeah, multicultural.
Dare I say woke?
Yeah.
No, it's this multicultural base there. Although it couldn't be that woke because we had an ostentatiously horny Italian soldier there.
By the way, yes. Okay. I'm glad you said that because I feel like I would have just went on without mentioning. The first time you see him is like that shot of his bunk with just the pinups everywhere. And then when he sees Polly, he's like, hey, hubbada, and his eyes are rolling out. It's like a Tex Avery cartoon, and his tongue's rolling on the ground.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. But thank you for horny Italian guy. That's fun. But yeah, like I said, it's the fact that it is, the production design was pretty good. The whole thing with the astronauts in Zeus 4, this new planet appears and it's just
flying around
out of them. What's so funny is like as they're in the space capsule and they're operating their levers and everything. I forget which one it is, but the guy that was further away from the camera. Every movement he was doing was exaggerated slow motion just to move his arm. It's like, okay, I guess that's what space is like. But it was one of those funny little moments. Anyway, we had that going on. I don't know.
I wanted to talk about the Twin Earth part, right? So, like, when you have, like, they see the planet and they're looking at the continents and it's matching ours, and they're like, hey, that's where South America is.
Upside down, though.
Mm-hmm. The idea of a Twin Earth was something that was huge in like the 70s, and you see it in a lot of comic books.
Really?
Oh yeah, like Warlock with the Twin Earth, and just the Twin Earth, that there is a Twin Earth and it's just on the opposite side of the sun as ours, and it's going around. But to my knowledge, that sort of thing didn't take off until the 70s. This is predating that.
Right.
So
setting trends.
Was Mondos? That was always the case. Was a Twin Earth?
Well, because they said when they said they were from Mondos, they're like that's ancient legend or something along those lines. And I was like, I guess that's a thing that people must have known about, but it was new to me. It wasn't new to me because we'd seen the episode with the disco aliens from Mondos. So But I guess that was a thing.
Yeah, but I guess that was always the case. I just don't ever remember that planet being a twin Earth.
Right.
And it probably was, and they probably have always mentioned it or whatever. And I know that it was their original home and all of that stuff. But I don't know. I don't. I did not remember that detail of it.
Right.
That's all.
I mean, that was great.
But honestly, the real thing is, do you remember when you saw Empire Strikes Back, and you saw all those bounty hunters, and you got a Star Wars figure, and it was the one bounty hunter that was kind of overweight, and he looked like he had a tooth problem. You know what I'm talking about? He had his jaw was all wrapped. I think his name was Dengar. The worst of the bounty hunters. He's the absolute worst bounty hunter. Do yourself a favor. Google Dengar action figure and see a very sad little... Because you want Boba Fett. Right? Everybody wanted Boba Fett. And I think at the time you had to send away box tops or something. Cut out the backs of your cards and send away. Maybe you'll get them before they mass released them. IG-88, he was cool. IG-88 was awesome. Bosk. Terrific. Boba Fett, one of the best character designs in all of science fiction. And then you get the guy with the tooth problem. That's the character I had. And he had like a backpack. Sorry, I hit my mic.
What do you have in that backpack anyway?
I don't know. Just
probably
more.
Probably
sweets. Probably sweets, and that's why I had the tooth problem.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Barclay, who is one of the scientists, was that Barclay was the scientist? The good scientist?
The good scientist that is against the Z-bomb.
The Z-bombs.
The ultimate doomsday weapon.
Mondus, but isn't that one of the ancient names of Earth? So I was kind of
what?
That's what he said. It was the ancient name of Earth. And Krail says, "Yes, aeons ago, the planets were twins." That was my Krail. So I was watching this. Normally, I will put the subtitles on just because I don't want to miss a line and have to rewind and go back. But this, the way we were watching it, didn't have the subtitles, so I was reading the transcript from a website, and they had all the names of all the different Cybermen listed here. And I don't remember any one of them was given an actual
Except for
name.
They called that one Pete.
They called him Pete.
Well, they said Peter because he was in
Stinky Pete.
Trouble.
Is what they called him.
Stinky
Pete.
Stinky Pete. You heard right.
Socks. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was a digression that didn't go anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. What else is there to say?
I don't know either. It was not a great. I'll say it. It was not a great.
Say it.
It was not a great final episode for Hartnell. Even let's talk about his regeneration.
Yeah.
Also robbed because I would have loved to have seen that not animated.
Oh,
because it's you want to see. You could see stills from it. Oh, you could see the whole thing.
Eric.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Okay.
Eric.
Okay.
On Twitter, Hair the Hound sent us a link.
Oh, for God's sakes.
To watch it, and it's just that part.
Oh, well, how did they have that? Okay, then I would like to see it. Then I was going to say I felt like it was
exactly
unfair.
the same as the animation.
Okay, fair
no
enough.
Better. You missed nothing.
But yeah, so he gets, and it's kind of sad, but I feel like you don't even spend that much time with it. He's very short with Polly and Peter, or the other guy, Ben. And then they're like, hey, he's acting weird, blah, blah, blah. He's old. He's lost his sense of humor, and he goes into the TARDIS. He locks him out. Then the controls start going on their own, right, or something, and he's sort of losing himself, and then he collapses, and they come in.
Yep.
And I guess I don't know. I felt like there should have been I would have liked it for him to have talked to them and said I'm going, or something. Now you get that. You get
oh,
I don't want.
Boy, do
you get that maybe too much or whatever, but at least
Tenet.
have
David
some
Tennant's
kind of moment with Hartnell and the let him say goodbye in a way. I don't know. That's me adding stuff that I just felt it was very
You're right though. It was the opposite of what we do now with I was saying, David Tennant's goodbye goes on for 10 minutes,
and then you get maybe.
And maybe he's back. Great. But you get that. But this is the exact opposite. We're I know. We'll just take the Doctor away for an entire episode, and then when we bring him back, we'll just have him be tired.
He's real kind of run down.
Yeah, and he doesn't do much of the doctor thing where it's like, well, he kind of figures out what's. I mean, he does figure.
He
out
does
what's going
figure
on,
out
but it's not
and we didn't talk about even the plot of this, right? At all. So the
cares?
Cybermen are draining energy from the Earth,
Yes.
right? And the doctor surmises their planet of Mondas could only take so much, or they're draining it too fast. I forget what the words are. And then it's going to explode, or it's going to fail, and that's what it does. And certainly they're like, they're dependent on the energy, and now that the energy's gone, they all die, but they don't really die. Why did I start on this thing? Why did I
tell us the plot?
To tell us the plot, but you were saying something about the plot, and then I was like, we haven't even talked about the plot.
Figuring it all out.
Yes, so the doctor did figure that part out.
Good, we did it.
I'm glad I explained the plot to everyone.
Perfect. Yeah, anyway.
But that is a thing that goes away, right? That the Cybermen need this energy. I mean, the future of the Cybermen is just more Cybermen, right? Yes. And making things more efficient and
I mean, they set it all up here perfectly. It's like, they have cut out all the parts that were weak, and that includes the organic parts as well as their emotions. They don't have a heart.
And you see
they
that
don't feel pain, and so they kept that true through everything they do later. Even
right. I was gonna say the doctor tries to form an alliance with them almost at one point because he's like, "We saved you." They were gonna do this.
Come and live on Earth.
Z-bomb, and they were like, "Nope."
Yeah, I mean so he does do his.
He does his things.
He does his thing. I don't know. I have a couple kind of silly notes.
Tell me the silly notes, please.
Well,
I took no notes, by the way.
Why would you? You don't need them. So there's the Ben and Polly. I'm going to start this again.
Yeah.
So Ben and Polly are trying to help things and try to get the scientist on their side, and they're in the bunks where they're being kind of held prisoner. Captive there. And the scientist Barkley comes in and is like, oh, there's nothing we can do except, oh, wait a minute, I designed this part of the base, and that air vent goes from the sleeping quarters to the missile silo. Because what else would you want to have happen when you launch a rocket? You want all of the exhaust to go directly into the bunk. That was just
They're all dead. They're all dead again.
Now. They're all dead now. We got that. We got the whole radiation thing.
Sure.
So they have to go into there.
Yeah, to dismantle.
They have to clip some things off the plugs. It was very funny when the scientist was explaining to Ben what he needs to do and go through the vent and then go find this panel, and he just draws a square and a circle and then just writes the name of the panel on it. Like, it was the most ridiculous. Anyway, so he has to go do that. It doesn't work out. They find out it's going to, sabotage is happening. So they're trapped there, and the Cybermen are trying to get in.
Is that when he gets thrown off the balcony?
Yes.
I straight up thought he was dead, and I was like, "Wow, it got brutal." And then he's like, "He'll be when he's done or whatever. Take him to whatever room." I was like, "He's not coming back." That looked like a pretty steep drop. Like he's gonna be broken.
Internal organs are on the outside now.
That was so funny.
That was
because
really
he just tossed them.
Yeah.
He just literally just tossed them. He could have clocked him on the head, and then they tie him. No,
they could have done that. The head
dropped him
thing
from like
knock
30
him out
feet.
like they did with Polly. No.
Yeah. He was high on goofball, so he had super strength, that PCP super strength.
PCP super strength.
He literally landed on the ground. He bounced back up. He was like, "What?
I'm ready to go." The dogs like this one.
Yep.
Eric, there's nothing left.
We've got nothing left. We did it all.
We got it. I will say,
I'm happy I did it.
I'm glad to have seen it as a completionist. I wanted to see the regeneration. I wanted to see the origins of the Cybermen. So thank you, everyone, for making this happen and making a recommendation for it.
Yes, and now I also get to see the proper regeneration.
Yeah.
Which I did not know I could do.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube. It's on the BBC YouTube.
See, I'm not on our Twitter really, so I'm missing a lot of this.
This little banter
we got. Banter.
Speaking of Twitter. Let's see what people had to say about this one.
Thanks, Dan.
So thank you, everybody, for pointing this out that we should watch this one and tell us that we should check it out. We heartily disagree with you on how good it was, but that's cool.
So I don't even know. So you're going to tell me, but it sounds like most people like it a lot.
Yeah,
based on what you're saying.
To be honest, since the great exodus from Twitter, there's been a lot less activity in the conversations there, but that's okay. But the conversations we do have are good. So Paul Paranoid says, about this episode, a few good firsts. The very first Cyberman story, and they're notably more human, feeling robotically Frankenstein monster-like, and it's the first regeneration in the TV series, which I think, it's great. What a huge risk, what a gamble they took to do this one at the time they did. Hair of the Hound says, the 10th planet has the best regeneration effect. I can't tell if there's sarcasms there or not. I'm sorry, dear friend, Mr. Hound. 10th planet has the best regeneration effect, parentheses, original, below, in case you're watching the animated version. So that's where that is, Eric. You can take a look at that.
Wait, he's saying the original blows?
No, below. The original is below in the tweet.
I thought he's saying the original blows.
The original blows.
You gotta
I like the
watch the
animated version better. No, this is great.
You got to take 2 hits of Ozzy White Acid and watch the animated version, and it'll change your life. All right, what do we got here? How do I watch it?
It's the only real way to watch it. It's on this. You're not going to watch it
I'm
while
gonna
we're
watch
doing
it
this, are we?
Right now. Our new thing is going to be live reaction videos.
I think
where we just watch.
The algorithm loves that, so maybe we ought to.
They
I don't know why we
watch
didn't
it
from the beginning. Here, I'm sending you a link, Eric.
Send me an angel. All right, here we go.
So watch this right now, and tell me what you think.
What is happening right now?
Watch it.
Why is there... Okay, I haven't been on Twitter in a while. Did they change the Twitter logo now? It's one of those cyber...
It's fine.
But
just watch hit that YouTube link.
I don't know. That dog has something to do with cyber currency, right? Or what is it called? Minecraft? What's happening now? I'm hearing music. Do I have 2 audio sources going, or
this is exactly right. So not only did Hair of the Hound send us a link to the original regeneration, also sent us a link to.
Now I would have watched this. There's the mouth. There's the mouth moving.
So good. It says no 10th.
You know what the Cyberman looks like?
Without Pip Medley's legendary singing Cyberman video. So it's a link to the Cybermen singing Trollololo, which is wonderful. That is
wonderful.
One of my favorite early internet viral.
Cyberman kind of looks like that weird old guy from the Great Adventure Six Flags commercials. That was like,
oh yeah,
they had mental problems, but they were just putting him in front of the camera. He's on. I don't know. It's got a little bit of an Uncle Junior from Sopranos vibe too going on. Okay, fair enough. That's not what I thought. I thought I was watching Hartnell die. I'm like, oh, somebody put the. Fair enough. My God, this is brilliant.
I sent you the other link, which is the actual one. So live reaction shot of Eric.
We are watching this live.
Live.
While Dan is doing whatever he's doing. Okay, he's on the ground. He needs some medical attention. Is what he needs. Sweaty face. Yeah, you're right. This is the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing. There's nothing. It was just a faithful recreation, so it's fine.
White.
You missed nothing.
And it goes all white. It's a pretty impressive effect.
Yeah, it is really not bad.
I
would like to have seen
pretty
more
good.
Troughton though.
I would agree with Hair of the Hound, assuming that he's not making a joke. It actually is a really good effect. It just goes a little like you can't really see the switcheroo.
I wanted to see more of Troughton to make it more like. I guess maybe it was effective enough at the time, and people were like, "Hey, what the hell?" But anyway,
yeah, it's fine. Again, he should have had more of a moment to like say goodbye. Like when he says goodbye to Susan, that was a great, kind of a sweet.
Yes.
I don't know. I would have liked something like that. That's just me.
That is just you. I don't even care. Misfit Scully says. I really hope you like the 10th planet. I do.
I'm sorry.
Considering the studio limitations that what was achieved is remarkable.
One of the nicest listeners we have, and also reached out as well, trying to get us a copy of this.
We
so
really
I feel bad
that
all of our listeners liked it, and here we are saying we didn't like it.
No,
I don't feel bad. We're honest. You get this straight.
It's fine.
We're not going to tell you
straight dope. We give you the straight dope.
We tell you for real.
For reals. Considering the studio limitations, what was achieved is remarkable. Strong agree.
Yep.
The Antarctic scene looks great. I think the design of Cybermen is a favorite of mine. They look unlike anything we've seen before on the show. The later Cybermen designs are possibly better looking, but these originals are great. The recent recreation of them was good. The regeneration was really was special. If it had not worked, the program probably would have ended. Earl Cameron, who played astronaut Williams, died in 2020 at age 102. Fun fact. Interesting. The animated episode is well-done representation of what we would have seen in 1966. Well, based on the regeneration scene alone, it looked pretty faithful to it. It's a story I really like to rewatch now and then. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll consider viewing other partially and fully animated stories. As always, love the pod.
Thank
you for that. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, that was basically it, really, about this episode. It's fine. Is it the best episode to finish with? Maybe not. Maybe we'll see more. So who knows? Stay tuned. We'll
I
find
think
out.
there's definitely more Hartnell on that.
But
list
speaking of other episodes we could watch, going over to our emails, the old Doctor Who show at gmail.com, our friend Hare the Hound wrote to us and said, here's a long one.
Okay.
Dear Eric and Dan,
That's
excuse
me.
the longer email, but hey, it could be my last one. It won't be your last one if you're going to watch Sid and Marty Krofft with us. But anyway,
hold on. I think I read this one. Correct?
You maybe have, but this
is this one for the final
March
episode
15th.
or no? Okay,
it's
just
March 15th, so I don't think we got it in time to air it. Love Mission to the Unknown review. Well done, Misfit Scully, for suggesting it. But is this really the end of the show? No, as you're listening right now. So he says, you currently have 4 Hartnell and 8 Troughtons.
Oh my God.
Woof. Partly are fully animated with more on the way. I asked a U.S. friend who confirmed they're not available to stream in the U.S. Some are on Daily Motion, but are split into small parts, which isn't ideal.
Daily Motion is also weird too. Like sometimes you'll look. I think I looked for 10th Planet on Daily Motion, and you'll get like part 1, part 3, part 4, and for some reason there's no part 2.
And then there was a colorized version, part of 1. I don't know.
Why are you doing this?
But with huge changes ahead with the BBC Disney Plus deal, who knows where these might show up? So we might be able to review them if they become available in the future. Yes, the future, because the world's a tough place and made so much better by Dan and Eric talking cult TV and film from Twin Peaks, Sandman, or Dune. Have we talked about any of those 3 today? I don't think we have.
No, we didn't mention. That's a
there
trifecta.
Was a casting announcement, I think, for Dune.
What? Oh, for who? I don't want to know anyway, because I'm going to watch it. I know already who the Emperor is. I know who Princess Irulan is. I know who obviously Fade Ralpha is.
There you go.
So those things are cast. So I wonder who the cast announcement.
I think it was the Fade one.
Oh, but that's been for a while.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. So what do you know?
Dude, we didn't talk about it, so that's new to me.
If you don't want to know the casting, close your ears. But it's Austin Butler.
Yeah.
So there you go.
As Elvis.
As Elvis playing Fade.
Which I think is going to be a great
who's dressed
choice.
like Sting. So you get everything that you could want.
Everything you want, including naked to the waist.
Just coming out of the steam room with his little blue shorts with the wings on them.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with that scene. Let's see. Or Eric's idea of a drug-addled kid show, in parentheses, says, my U.S. partner says he remembers The Lost Saucer.
There you go.
We have at least one listener. You should keep on reviewing The Weird and Wonderful and Doctor Who. Old or New comes your way. Throw it in the mix. It's not a bad idea. The Old Doctor Who was the first podcast I ever listened to.
That's amazing.
Weirdo. Just kidding. You're the best. As is Through Dark Days, Dictators, and Plagues. Your views are underprepared, chaotic, and often in danger of falling apart. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't buy that.
That doesn't track at all.
I was with them till then.
And that's why we need them, because so are we. See you on the live stream. Hare the Hound. P.S. Eric, on the schedule, you had some updating to do. It's not ideal. We may update that, but we'll fix. So some of the color coding, that was actually, I screwed some of the color coding up with
Did we fix it?
I don't care.
Oh, we should fix it, Dan.
PPS.
Oh, PPS. Okay.
My mental health is fine. Thanks for asking.
Okay, I'm glad.
So
you are one of our favorite people.
On our to-do list, to-do list.
Okay.
The Hartnell episodes, Reign of Terror, The Crusade, Galaxy 4, and checkmark next to the 10th planet. For the Troutons, we got the Underwater Menace, Moonbase, the Mascara Terror.
Yep.
Faceless Ones, Evil the Daleks, the Abominable Snowmen. Didn't we do the Abominable Snowmen?
I don't even know anymore.
I don't know, whatever. The Ice Warriors and Deep Furries. So we got those.
Wait,
we'll
all those ones you just said. What doctor is the Ice Warriors and what doctor's Sweet Furries?
Those are both Troutons.
So it's all Trouton.
And three other
and
Hartnells.
3 Hartnells.
Reign of Terror, The Crusade.
And there's not a
Galaxy
single
4.
Pertwee or T. Baker in the house, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Not even a Colin Baker to break things up. We watched all
I take
those.
a Colin Baker.
Let's rewatch a Colin Baker. Okay. But thank you, Hair the Hound, for everything you've ever done for us. You're fantastic. Let's see. And we will take those episodes under advisement. Again, thank you to Alex for getting us through being able to watch this joy of an episode.
Yep.
So we blame you. And Paul Paranoid says, it's the 10th planet.
Yep.
Has been prepared for. Well, after 7 years and 143 or 144 now episodes. What a story to go out on. Snow, Arctic bases, the Tin Man for the Wizard of Style, Cybermen. Also, it's technically the first Doctor Who story to feature a generation. For what we now know as the 274th Doctor into the 275th. I choose not to recognize that as canon.
That is the timeless child thing, right?
Baloney. I'm choosing to ignore all
So
of
they
that.
gave that a number? I don't remember them giving it a number.
I didn't know they gave it a number, but that's cool. I'm sure people have
Maybe they
counted.
didn't. Maybe that's just a joke. But yeah, I forgot about that whole timeless child stuff.
I'm hoping that we all do. And in no way contradicts the theory that the new era 10-story World Enough in Time needed a prequel. All around a fabulous addition to season 3, says this listener. And also a great way to end the old Doctor Who show's glorious run. Good job, everyone. See you on the new Hunt the Dark Web for Lost Science Fiction TV episode themed podcast. It would be interesting if we only sourced them on the dark web.
Yeah.
You had to go through Tor to find them. We might accidentally
It
kill
would be
someone
good if
by
we had to
accident.
watch them at someone else's house.
I do think
that's the whole
flying
podcast is we have to watch these things, but someone has to invite us to their house, and then we have to live record it at their house as I'm trying not to make eye contact and they're offering us like weird snacks. Like you get there and then it's just like this birthday party I went to where the only thing they had in the birthday party was either egg salad or potato salad sandwiches with the crust cut off. It was a freaking nightmare, and I didn't want any of it. So I didn't eat, and I sat in this weird kitchen. What kind of mom makes for these kids these sandwiches? Was it your house?
It was my house.
It's like that was my favorite thing. But I remember it was like being in a like a David Lynch film. Like there was like a plate in the middle of this table with all these meticulously stacked squares of white bread sandwiches filled with like egg salad, like yellow egg salad and tuna salad just stacked, and it was like good. Dig in, and then all these kids are eating it like ravenously, and I just wanted to get out of there. And
some kids want to have a pizza party at Chuck E. Cheese. Other kids want to eat egg and tuna salad sandwiches
was the beginning
with their mom in their kitchen.
Beginning of a very long life of not wanting to be invited anywhere. I'm happy at home. Like I don't have to leave. It's my
except to be invited over to people's houses, strangers'
but
houses.
I bring
to
all
watch
of that
Doctor Who.
energy.
That's a lot of
all
energy
of that energy goes with it. And Dan and I just go house to house, recording our live. It's a live tour where we have to come to you.
We're older and wiser now, and we will bring our own egg salad sandwiches with us. So don't feel the need to make those. Just
thank God. Yeah, thank God we're not more popular. Because then everywhere we would go, somebody, as a joke, would show up with an egg salad sandwich now. And
thank goodness, man. Check your P.O. box.
And I'd be like, thanks. And I'd have to put it in my bag instead of just the trash.
I would just put it in my pocket for later. Okay, well, that was everything. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Stay paid tuned.
Stay paid. I was like, you know what? This was a short review because we didn't have a lot to say. It's already like 2 hours. We've already been recording for 2 hours.
What we ought to do is figure out what we're going to do next. If you don't hear differently, we're going to do a live stream of the Cushing.
Yeah, so that's next until we hear from someone.
We're going to see if we can find any of ways to watch any of those stories that were mentioned previously. If you don't remember what I said, rewind about 5 hours and you'll hear me read through those again. If you're like, hey,
there was
I have all of
Moonbase
those,
and the
you should come over to my
mascara,
house
the
and watch
mascara
them.
incident.
Yep.
You got it all.
The tale of the Bobby Sox twins. I think
The Bobby's World. No, it was mascara.
Bobby's World. Jesus.
Ice War. Okay, one more time. Moonbase, Faceless Ones, Ice Warriors, Fury from the Deep, The Mascara Terror, Underwater Menace, Water, and Dream a Little Dream Part 2.
License to Drive Part 4. It's just what we're just gonna make our
Hot Dog University. Because Hot Dog is the snowboarding one, right?
Right. Well, the How Did This Get Made? Another podcast that you should listen to after you listen to ours did a great one of Ski School.
Okay.
Which was, oh my God, so great.
It was one of those randy, lots of sex and snow sports.
Porkies in the snow.
Okay, that's a good way to sell
it. Folks, thank you for all that
we
you
are
do.
done.
And for listening to us ramble and on our incredibly well-prepared, not at all improvised
like
show.
a well-oiled machine.
I am
It's oiled with sadness.
And, yep, sure.
Our own tears just digging into the gears. Keep going, Dan. We're going to get out of it. I'm going to stop talking and let you
go to
finish.
the Old Doctor Who Show at gmail.com and send us an email.
Buy my book.
To theolddoctorwhoshow.com and look at all the previous stuffs with all of our gifts and things. I guess I have to make gifts now. God.
Yep, make some gifts. Buy Goblin.
You got to buy
available
Goblin
now.
People in Indonesia don't understand why the Goblin didn't kill everybody, but that's fine.
That was cool. We were reviewed by a woman, a very kind woman in Indonesia. And based on the translation, I don't think she was happy with the end.
She wanted the Goblin to kill everybody.
I think that's what... But you can't tell with those kind of translations.
That's true.
Right? But yes, that's the way it came out. And I apologize to her, but I hope she buys the second book, which has not been announced.
She's a listener, long-time listener, so thank you for that. What else? The Old Doctor Who Show, TODW show on all the Instagram and the.
I have not logged into the Instagram in about 2 years. Just pointing that out there. I'm Egressum on Twitter. Don't really go there.
I'm Dan J. Angie on Twitter, and also don't really go there.
But I do go on Instagram for myself, and that's Grissom, and on TikTok, ES Grissom.
Are you talking the ticks there or no?
I occasionally tick a talk.
Well, I mean,
it happens.
I guess you like Chinese
you
propaganda.
Get on it
Eric.
now before it's gone, right?
Get it before it's gone.
We keep having all these school shootings. We better get rid of TikTok.
We better get rid of TikTok.
Does everybody agree on something?
Just one thing.
If
you want to get in touch with us, the best way to do it is just to show up at our house unannounced. So Eric's address is. All right.
Let's just end this.
We're done. Goodbye. Go.
This is longer than the director's cut of Zodiac. What? I just watched Zodiac. I love Zodiac. But I watched it. I made my family watch it, and they were like 2 hours in. They're like, "How long is this movie?" It's worth it. All right.
I don't think it is.
Okay. Oh my God! Really?
We love you.
Come on, man.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Peace. I love Zodiac.
What in the name of heaven? Who are you and what's the meaning of this? Do you realize who I am? The name is Jonah Jameson, my friend, and I'll have you know J. Jonah Jameson is not the kind of man to be amused by some sort of infantile prank. I demand an explanation for this ridiculous costume. I'm warning you.